I'm here today because my English professor saw something in me, in my writing, and in my capability to extend myself beyond the scope of a topic, to engage the heart of a story in order to embrace a larger idea. Professor Doris Sommer is the Ira Jewell Williams Jr. Professor of Romance, Languages, and Literature. She is also the Director of Graduate Studies in Spanish, as well as the Director of the Cultural Agents Initiative. She has a focus on ethnic literature and bilingual aesthetics. She also has a focus on 19th century narrative in Latin American women's literature. Latin Americans, women's literature. I can't really think of anything that embodies the quintessential underdog any more than that. If you guys didn't know, JFK, a little off topic, JFK really liked to read. He pretty much read a book every single day. So I see a parallel between, of course, Professor Sommer and JFK, the passion for literature, and kind of knowing the importance of a good book and trying to emphasize that, and how to relate that to a bigger picture beyond yourself. So with that, it is my great pleasure to introduce Professor Doris Sommer.
I'm really very grateful to Dario for this invitation and to you for your attendance, again, with the change of schedule. And I want to continue Rebecca's theme about what literature means for development, for personal and collective development. The reason that I started up this initiative about 10 years ago called Cultural Agents is because my best graduate students were leaving literature to go do something more useful. They were going to do law or medicine, public health, business, government. Everything looked more useful than literature. So I stayed back in my office feeling really useless. And I asked myself, why is that so? When we know that literature, first of all, to talk about national novels, literature made the novels and the nations that the novels seem to describe. If you think about Latin American history, where are you from? Where is your family from? What countries are you from? Mexico. El Salvador.
Argentina.
Guatemala, Bolivia, Colombia,
Argentina,
the Dominican Republic. You know, for each name of a country, I can tell you the novel that helped to build that country. The people who wrote those national novels, I'm going to go off on a little tangent just to seed possible interest that you might have. The people who wrote national novels in the middle of the 19th century were the founding fathers. They were the próceres. They were the generals and the legislators, because it was one thing to win independence. It's another thing to win people's hearts to a collective project. And you do that through emotional ties. And all these novels really build emotional ties. They're about romances between boys and girls from different races, different regions, different economic interests, and they want to get together. And it's only when they get together that you make a nation. So that's just a little hint of how important literature is in Latin America and everywhere. Literature is also the place, and Rebecca was hinting at this too, where you stretch, where you imagine possibilities that don't exist yet in reality, and you can dream because you stretch. What I would like to do today is develop one of the projects that we have in Cultural Agents. It's called Forum Theater, and those of you who got a chance to read Chapter 4 from Augusto Boal's Theater of the Oppressed have an idea of what Forum Theater is. You'll have a much better idea when you see our talented actors perform for you. But let me just say something about, to frame the two ensembles that you will see perform. Augusto Boal had a much more dramatic change of heart in his profession than I had in mine. I'm his disciple in many ways. I decided that the humanities had to look more useful, and so we studied the many ways that literature and other arts build society. He decided, as I said much more dramatically, that being a Marxist theater director was not doing the world much good. He reminded people every time he got a chance to talk in public, and he wrote about this in every book that he published about 4 books. He remembered a little scene from the northeast of Brazil, the poorest area of Brazil, where he and his buddies from Rio came and did some rabble-rousing theater. He said, we're going to fight the good fight, we're going to spill the blood, we're going to get rid of class oppression. Well, that night, Virgilio, he says, I'll never forget this peasant's name, Virgilio came to visit me. And he said, okay, Jewell, we're going to take your advice. We're going to go tomorrow morning at dawn and burn the landowner's field and drive him out because he's been ripping us off for 20 years. Come with us. And Jewell said, these guns aren't real. Virginia said, don't worry, we have extra guns. And then he got more embarrassed and he said, I'm not really a fighter. Oh, Virginia says, the blood that we're going to spill is my blood. I get it. That was a crisis of consciousness, a crisis of profession, an ethical crisis for Jewell that he got over by inventing a new kind of theater. A theater where he doesn't tell people what the problem is. Where he doesn't drive people into acts that he wouldn't participate in. Instead, he goes to a community and asks humbly, what's your problem? What's your worst problem? What don't you have a solution for? Do you want to explore it? If you do, let's get some people who want to act. We'll put out a skit that is the tragedy comes from this problem, but that will only be the first act, because the rest of the community are not spectators for this stage problem. They are spect-actors. There's no one passive in Jewell's theater. They're all spect-actors. So after the first scene, which is the tragedy, I, as a facilitator, and you, the next time you want to put this on, and Tony already has experience with this, the next time you want to put this on, I or you, as I said, can get up in front of the spect-actors and say, who will be the first to intervene? And one after another, people may get up, look at an actor who said something aggressive or hasty or incautious or whatever you think is fixable, and get up on stage and fix that script so that it reads differently. All the other actors on stage will have to improvise around that change and show that the situation isn't quite as deadlocked as the word tragedy makes you imagine. Aristotle was the one who taught us what tragedy was. And those of us who study literature know the definition of tragedy. It's a story that starts okay and goes straight down. There's no deviation. It's a conflict that has no resolution, and the only good thing that happens is that you, as somebody who survives in the audience, says, I'm glad that wasn't me, right? That's what Aristotle calls catharsis. Well, Jewell says, what do you want from Aristotle? He was basically working for the state. He didn't want rebellious feelings to start percolating among people, so he favored and he featured the tragedies that killed off the hero and made everybody feel relieved that they weren't in that heroic role. And Jewell says, that's not the only way to think of tragedy. Another way to think of tragedy is that it's a lack of imagination. People think that the story is going straight down and they don't figure out a way out. Forum theater is an exercise in finding a way out and multiplying those ways. And he also called forum theater rehearsal for life. Because when you get used to this kind of intervention, you think to yourself, next time you get into a bind, what are the several ways that I can act here, instead of just going on automatic pilot? Okay? So, what I wanted to do today, instead of just talking about development, is to actually develop with you a style of leadership, an important style of leadership, that is called facilitation. You don't know what people need, but you help them get there. That's the kind of leadership. By the way, just to link this up with Marshall Gantz's work, because I know you're working with him. Marshall, as you know, because I'm sure he told you this, worked for 16 years with Cesar Chavez and the United Farm Workers Union. He will tell you, if you ask, that without the theater troupe of this, without the Teatro Campesino, there would have been no union organizing. It was the Teatro Campesino that went from farm to farm and performed on the flatbeds of trucks and got people from the farms to intervene, to get up, to act out roles that later they would act out in a demonstration or with their employers. It was the Teatro Campesino that really built that union. So just to give you a sense of how important this is as an addition to your leadership toolkit. Okay, can we have the first ensemble, please? Woo! Okay, let's shut off this light so that it's not distracting people.
So, Mommy, Liliana called me. She has a party today, and it's her 20th birthday, and I'm going.
How long have you known this girl?
Like, since the beginning of the year.
How old is she?
She's turning 20.
Are you sassy?
No, I'm just telling you that I'm going, and I don't want to call me at 12.
Nika, I don't know this girl.
No, I don't, Mommy.
You
I told
never
I
told
promise
me
that
about
I'm going. No, you're gonna make me look bad in front of my friends. I'm not gonna take that from you.
Excuse me.
Annie, I'm here. You see?
Hi, Mom. How are you? We're going to go to Bible study. It's at 2 a.m. It's going to happen overnight. Are we
You see, Mommy? She's such a good friend. She came with me to CCP.
Nika, you don't know her that well.
No, she don't you see
I've
how
known
nice
her
she's
for like
here?
4 years.
Yeah, I know, Mia.
You never told me about her.
Wait, just, Mommy, I have so many friends.
Well, the pastor's meeting at church. Bible study starts real soon. Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Bye, Mommy. We have late. Okay.
Okay. Let's go to the club. You look so hot in that skirt. I'm glad. Slutty, but that's what guys like. So let's
Okay.
we're going to work it.
Okay.
I'm going to shop. Like, small tequila.
I'm like,
Do you drink?
no.
We're going to start with a girl. What do you want?
I'll have a Coke. I'll have a Coke. Yeah, like, just put this Coke. Yeah, just like, just be fun.
Yeah, whatever. Okay, here, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Oh, was that too strong?
No,
I'll get another one.
Oh. Okay, yeah. Put more. It's good. It's good. I like it.
Boyfriend? Check it.
Oh.
Check it, then you tell me.
Okay.
Wait, no, you've never had a boyfriend?
No, can you believe it? My mom.
Really?
Yeah.
How cute. I'll be right back. I think I left something in the restaurant.
Okay.
She's a virgin. How much is that?
It's twice.
How many times do you have? Well, constant. I'll have it right now.
Wait, can I get another one?
Yeah, I'll get you another one. Yeah, she keeps that. Hey, so I think, hey, are you okay? Are you feeling okay? I wonder why you're feeling so sick.
My mom.
Your mom? She's at Walmart. Okay.
Go on.
No, come with me. Come with me. Come with me.
No, I want my mom.
Look, stupid bitch.
No, I don't want
No! Roberta,
No!
stop yelling. Shut her up. Shoot her. Be quiet. Oh God, you shot her.
Let's go.
Her mom's gonna call. She knows me.
Go.
I was about to study.
Go on.
Let's go. We're out.
Whoa.
Where? She hasn't come home. It's been like so long and she hasn't even called. She always calls me. Telephone rings.
Ring.
Hello? Mika? Hello? She's... I don't have to go.
And I want to know who wants to be first to intervene. And the first person to intervene, please say at what point you want to rerun this play and what character you are replacing.
Intervene in the sense of like completely rewriting the story and like a different outcome.
You can replace one character. You can replace one character who is feeling the stress. Okay? Feeling the stress. You can hear me, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Let's not add a character right now. Okay? Let's not add a character. It might be possible, but let's stay constrained. So, who are the characters in distress, or the main character in distress? Because it's very hard to just replace a bad guy and make it all better and be convincing. Okay? But how would you play the distressed characters a little differently to get a different outcome? Go ahead.
I just have a question. Does the course of the story have to remain the same, or?
No, that's the beauty. Thank you for asking. That's the beauty. Because we're used to thinking that the same outcome is going to happen every time the situation occurs. But if we can tweak one of these roles and get other people to improvise around that, it doesn't have to be that. Okay, who do you want to replace?
Amy.
Amy.
Yeah.
Go ahead. And go ahead. At what point?
Okay. Do I have any other point? Point when they barely get to the boat. When they just get to the boat.
Turn that on.
Oh, we have the LL live play.
Oh my god, so your mom totally thought that was anything. Oh my god, you look hot in that slutty skirt, girl. So, do you want a drink? Yeah? Okay.
No. How about I'll get my drink. How about I get you a drink?
No.
Well, what do you like?
You
Do you like
know how
vodka?
to
Do you like rum?
do.
Yeah, of course I do. I was a bartender back in the day.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay, just give me a shot tequila.
Okay.
And hurry up.
Here, take this. It's great.
Yeah, okay. Where's her drink?
I already took mine.
I didn't see you lying.
I'm a fast drinker.
Really?
I'm already
like, I already feel a little, you know, so I can't
Okay,
drink
let's
it.
take another one. Let's take another one.
What is that you put in there?
Where?
You put something. How about you take this one?
Oh, sure. I don't mind.
Okay.
Hey, I'll be right back. Wait here, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
So, I was thinking we should go to an after party.
Okay. So you know what? I should really listen to my mom and be home by like 2 or something.
It's barely 12 now.
I know, but by the time like we walk to the car, like you know what if
I'm handicapped? I don't follow no rules. Let's go.
yeah, you know what? I really don't feel comfortable. You've been drinking. I've been drinking. I really don't think it's a good idea.
So then what are we gonna do? The club, the music isn't good.
I mean, and then
You
make
know
the.
how to dance. Come on, let's go.
I don't know how to dance, bro.
Let's
Come on,
go.
let's go right now. Look, it's so.
You know what? I don't know you. Let's just go.
You don't know me.
Let's go. Or
Why can't we make a compromise?
it just sucks here. It's so boring.
I know it sucks, but it's really dangerous out there.
Okay, fine. On the after party.
Yes.
Did you be a little sissy? Let's just go. Come on.
Sissy.
Come on.
Let's go.
Oh my God, who's that right there?
Okay, so thank you for the first intervention. That's great. Now you have the idea. Who's going to be the next to intervene? Come on. You see where I wanted just one circle with you.
I'll replace her.
I would take it.
So beginning. Oh, so like, okay, so I'm gonna reenact this. Okay. So mommy, Liliana, she's having a birthday party and it's 20th birthday and I'm going. Mika, you're not old enough to be drinking. But she's turning 20. She's turning 21.
Mika, I'm not stupid. I wasn't born yesterday.
Mommy, but I
know
promise
what- I know what to do with those
Mommy, you're gonna make me feel bad, okay? It's fine if you want to stay home and read your Bible, but I have my life and you can't control me.
Bing, bing, bing.
You see, Mommy? They're already here. You see, this is
Pick up your phone.
Hola?
I'm sorry I'm not going to be able to make it. I kind of got food. So I'm just going to stay home tonight.
Go to hell.
I'm sorry.
Don't use that language in this house, Mika. I raised you better than that.
So now I want to know. Okay.
No, we're going?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
No,
I
go.
don't have the
Okay, but you were playing the role of someone who had designs on the seal molding, right? You're playing the role of somebody who wanted to make a profit by selling her body, right? So, what? Huh?
That wasn't fair.
I'm not sure if it was convincing. That's the question, and that's why Jewell kind of encouraged us to try to intervene on the roles of the people who are being oppressed, because when we're feeling oppressed, we have to figure out a way to maneuver. But if we're just being evil, then why would we listen? to an intervention. Maybe this guy's the influence. Maybe, you know, he could have an attack of conscience in the middle of everything, right? But the question is, for the audience, for the spectators, is this a convincing intervention? Right? So that's the question. All right, next intervention, please.
Can we add a father figure to this? Can we add like a strong male father figure?
All right. All right, now this is an important question. This is an important question. Is it okay? Is it convincing to add a strong father figure if he's not here?
No.
It's a good solution,
Right.
but and it's something to think about when we become mothers and fathers. That's good. It's a good take. But what we have here, do you have an intervention?
Yeah.
Come on. Come on up.
I want to be the mom.
The girls are at the club, and then while the mom's at home. Yeah. And then I'll be at home.
Okay, so then.
Woo! We're gonna get wasted tonight, girl.
Okay.
Okay, you want a drink? Tequila?
I mean, soda and like. Alright. Okay, that's fine. I guess. That's a lot. Wait. Wow. You know, I just can't kind of. Well,
Chuck!
Oh! Oh!
Okay, now it's done. Just turn
Yeah, okay.
Meanwhile, back at home.
Okay.
Okay, now we're time's up.
Okay. Whoa. So,
Ya van a ser las 12 y no me llama. Víctor. Sí, no, yo sé que estás ocupado y que no hemos hablado hace tiempo, pero you still a cop in the city. My daughter went out. I know it's late, but my daughter went out, and I just don't trust the girl she went with. Víctor, just said, pero ayúdame, por favor. I took down her license plate as she was driving away. What do you mean you're not at the office? She has an iPhone. That damn thing cost me a lot of money, and it has a GPS, and it find it for me. Find the tracker. Okay. Can you pick me up? I don't have a car.
Okay, so just to okay. No. We have another ensemble that wants to.
Oh, that's totally fine.
No. I want you to feel the energy of possible interventions here. If we had a lot of time, if this were a real community activity where we were working out a serious problem that we all identified, this could go on for a very long time. Everyone could figure out an intervention, then everyone could figure out another one, and by the end, anyone who says that tragedy has to end badly doesn't sound very convincing. So keep that energy. I want you to see our next play, but first, an enormous... We decided to do two short plays for you because I want you to go away from this session with an appreciation for the form of foreign theater. Okay? It's a recipe, a very simple recipe. You go to a community, you tell them to figure out their worst problem. People who want to act put on a skit, and then everybody intervenes. It's not linked to one problem or another, to one community or another. You don't have to know anything about the community. You don't have to make assumptions. You don't have to get intimate before you're useful. As a facilitator, as a trained leader with humility, you can be useful even to new people. Okay? So we want you to appreciate this simple format and this style of leadership. So with our next ensemble, please take a seat.
Okay. Oh, I see. We're not sorry. So what's going on tonight?
Well, I think Julia called me and she asked us if we want to go to the left for a while.
Julia?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Totally. He said he wants.
Shut up.
Yeah.
No, are you serious?
No, I got so there. Come on,
Okay,
Let's go.
okay. Let's do it. We're gonna go.
What you got doing? What's that, Lolita?
Well, we're thinking we're gonna go out for a little bit.
Are you telling me or are you asking me?
No. We're kind of telling.
We're good. Mariana.
Mariana?
Yeah, she's
No,
little.
not very
Come on,
well.
she grew up with us. The neighbor.
¿De aquí enseguida?
Yeah. She's coming with us.
Yeah, we're gonna go with that.
And you
Hold
never
on. You better be careful.
Of course.
You better come back early.
Of
Don't go
course.
with any strangers.
Yeah,
Just some
no.
crazy people out there.
Yeah, I promise you. Bye, Daddy.
Bye, Daddy. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Okay?
Yeah. I think we're
Hello, chicas. Where are you going?
We're going home. We're done tonight.
Can I have your number?
Sorry, you have
Come with me.
no, we're done tonight. Sorry.
I'm not gonna ask you again.
Hey, don't touch her! Don't touch her!
Shut up!
No, Carolina! No!
Get away!
Why are you doing this? Sister!
Come with me. Come on.
Sister, no!
Come with me.
No, Carolina! No! Why are you doing this to me? Sister!
Wait here.
They llegó. Super late already. She hasn't come. She calls me all the time. I told her to be here by 12. It's already 12. What could she be?
Lo, if you want to see your daughter again, come meet me in front of Hastings Hall. I call your daughter and the keys to your car.
What are you talking about? I'm calling cops. Who is
Oh,
this?
you'll regret that. Just come here.
Who is this?
Okay, now just to start multiplying the facilitators here, who wants to facilitate these interventions? Oh, you want to be the mom?
Yeah. Is it okay? Okay.
Right now, thank you though.
Wait, so you're asking for somebody to intervene just like last time.
No, I want to be replaced as the person who invites interventions. I don't want to be asking people to intervene. I want someone else just to get up and do what I was doing. Just so that you get a chance to see how easy it is. You don't have to be an actor, you don't have to be a director.
Very good. So, hi everyone.
Hello.
Who would like to intervene?
I want to do it. Maybe.
Okay.
I want to take the place of the dad, and we're gonna see what happens when there's a Dominican dad. All right, so we're gonna take this. I guess they leave the house. I let them go. I give them some space, but I'm not feeling too right. And then we're gonna take
We just got through like partying hard.
Ladies and gentlemen, the play will be starting.
Oh my gosh, that's so much fun. I think she really likes it. I think Carlos likes you. Oh my god, you're the best sister ever. I'm so happy.
Hello, ladies. Where are you going tonight?
We're done, dude. We're going home.
Oh, hey. Give me your number so we can meet up some other
No,
time.
no, we don't do that. I'm sorry.
¿Qué maldito número tú le vas a dar a ella? Mira, muchachita, yo chequeé tu Twitter, yo chequeé tu Facebook.
Whoa, Dad, no.
¿Qué no se puede hacer?
This isn't 1939 anymore. You can't do that. No, Dad, we don't know him.
El despachante es el tigre.
I'm so sorry. Dad, let's go.
No, listen. Ok, yo estaba en la casa hoy, yo no me sentí muy bien, tú dijiste que tú te ibas por un sitio, y este hombre estaba hablando contigo, y si algo te pasa a ti, muchacha.
It's like you're speaking Spanish. I know, but I don't even understand.
I've been here for 20 years, I speak English too, I get to you Spanish, in English, in Chinese. I know you're going to take care of you. I don't know who are you, sir? Yeah, I know jujitsu.
This way. Thank you so much. You have a lovely night. God, what is wrong with you, Dad?
I'm sorry, I'm losing my mind. Sometimes craziness pays off. Sometimes.
So, would you like to go? Are you going to be the crazy dad?
Yeah, but I'll do it in the beginning, like
Okay.
when they're leaving.
What do you want to do? Is it this? Okay. I know it's an awkward guy, sorry. That was recorded too. Harvard program. That's funny. Anyway,
All right, so yeah, you guys told me that you wanted to go out tonight, so and Juliana will be there too. So
shut up, Julia.
Yeah.
I don't do you think?
Hi, Dad. How are you?
Hola, mijas. How are you guys? Did you pray today? You prayed, right?
Day and night.
Mira, such beautiful mijas, mira. Going to Harvard and praying all the time. Qué bueno, mija. I love you guys. So proud.
We try our best now. We try our
Okay.
best.
So what did I hear about this, Carlos? Is he in the Bible? I don't know. San Carlos, maybe.
Let me see. Listen or study for the Bible. In the church every Thursday. Yeah.
They get Thursday. Wait, Thursday is that a new day? Because it's usually Wednesday.
No, for young it's a Thursday. For old people it's a Wednesday.
For young people. Oh, so good. Okay, so what about Carlos?
Well, he has a friend and
The name's Julia.
yeah.
It sounds kind of.
He goes to the Bible study.
They can sound biblical, man. I know my Bible. There's no Julian up in there. There's no Jesus up in here. Okay. Do they go to Harvard?
Georgetown.
Yeah.
Is that, como le dicen, is that like Ivy, like, or like green? Is that some type of Saturday school? Ivy Green. Is it Ivy Green school?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like they're Ivy and then they're green too. So like they're also conscious, like they're religious and they think about the
Oh,
environment.
that's great. Well, so what about Julian and Carlos?
They're good people. We're gonna go, Dad. We're gonna go now.
¿Cómo? To study the Bible? Mira, tráelo aquí. We can study together. Mira, I'm not that old, you know? I had you guys like at 15. I'm not that old, you know? Tráelos, and we study together. I know that, okay?
I know, Dad, but you're still like our dad. Like you got that title, that parental title. We're trying to find God as youth, without parents. We're supervision.
¿Cómo así without parents? Maria was there when Jesus died, so I'm gonna be there. He wants to come. He's gonna come here right now. Are there 9 minutes right now? I'm free. There's no soccer game right now, okay? I'm free.
Do you mind if they bring the whole story?
The whole study group? Hey, ¿cuánta gente? 10 to 15? Okay, I think your mom is buying tortillas tomorrow, so I think we're good. Okay. 10 to 15. So you guys not going in today?
Okay, sounds great. Who would like to change the story about? Who else would like to do the intervention? Maybe a different character?
I'll be the sister that doesn't get killed, which is all right. Yeah. And started off coming back from the club.
Let's go, sister.
Sister.
He's wearing pink already.
All right.
I love pink. There's nothing wrong with that.
Just learn people.
Okay. Carlos was hot up on you. What's up? Wait, check this out. See that? There's this creepy ass. Check this out. Look, just in case, there should be a. Here, check this out. I think he's homeless. Just, come on. Okay, just stand by. Told you that creepy ass. Run!
Round of applause for This is what I wanted to share with you. If you go to the Cultural Agents website, and it's just culturalagents.org, you'll see information on Forum Theater. You'll also see information on a project that we do to support literacy at a very high level in very poor schools around the United States and all over Latin America. We're starting off in Africa too. That is a project called Pretexts. And I want to say one word about that and invite you to see the website. And then I just want to invite your comments and observations and questions to each other, to me, about Forum Theater. Pretexts is one way that we make literature and creative arts, like the way you were creating, improvising tonight, really count for social development because we educate kids, children and youth in very high order literacy in the poorest neighborhoods that we know. And we do that by a very simple operation, just the way this is simple, with profound results, right? The way we do that is to turn upside down the conventional way that people teach. Conventionally, people teach from lower order operations to higher order. They teach grammar and vocabulary, and then understanding, and then interpretation, and there's never any time for doing anything creative. What happens when you go from lower to higher order? Kids get bored. You try to teach kids who are not, aggressively academic, vocabulary and grammar before you teach them anything else, and they tune out. Dropout rates, even in a privileged place like Boston, are alarming. 50%. And that's white kids. The dropout, when I talk about the dropout rate in the United States around Latin America, people think I'm making it up. So we need to keep kids in school. If you invert the order and go from higher order, conceptual, theoretical, creative thinking, you necessarily access the lower order because you need it. Let's take an example. If I come in with a poem or a story that nobody wants to read, and I say, tomorrow the choreographer is coming and we're going to dance this poem. You think kids are going to read it? They want to work with the choreographer. The next day, a photographer is coming, and we're going to do a photo shoot about that story. You have to be one of the characters and see the world through that kids' eyes. Do you think the kids are going to read the story? They read it. And then they have to figure out the vocabulary and grammar and interpretation and understanding and all the rest of it. So what we do is take advantage of people's love for art, of their ability to ham it up, to invent things, to lie in interesting ways. And that's the motor that runs pretexts and gets everybody reading, not competently, but at a high level. Because they can talk about how they made that shoot, and why they took that perspective, and what that composition is about, and why that harmony and that dissonance had to come in with that song about that sonnet. All right? So I mention this to you because when you look at the pretext page, you may get inspired to be in touch with us and to start a workshop in your community. Because you can work with local artists, they can be good artists, they can be mediocre. But you can work with local artists in classrooms, in community centers, and get kids to love to read. Because they start seeing literature as just stuff to make art with. And they eat it up. All right? Hard literature. They sweat and they don't even notice that they're exerting effort because they love it. Right? Everybody is an artist. And if we had time to talk about more theory, I would talk about enlightened philosophy, where aesthetics is really the key element of developing democracy. Because it's in aesthetics that we develop particularity, individuality, and judgment. Okay? But I'm not going to talk theory now. I'm just going to invite you to think about it and develop on your own or get in touch with me. What I do want to do now with you is just open up the conversation in a different mood than we might have been if we had just read Jewell, right, and talked about it. You actually acted Jewell. And everybody who is on the stage knows what that feels like, but every spectator in his and her seat who is thinking of a possible intervention is a participant too. Just learning how to think as a participant and not as a spectator is part of the charm of this exercise. So please, as soon as you raise your hand, I'll give you the microphone so you can be recorded. Make a comment, ask a question of the actors whom you saw, of spectators whom you saw, of anyone about this, this forum theater. And maybe you want to imagine what you might do with it at home, okay?
So my name's Stephanie. I just had a comment. I can see where this was going, like the whole concept, right, and showing like the public and every city or town you went to intervene. But wouldn't it be more helpful to teach the societies how to be active bystanders in situations like this? Because you can't always anticipate a tragedy happening, but there's so many times where bystanders see tragedy happening and they don't intervene.
I think that's great. That's great. And that goes back to one of the first questions, can we add a character, right? So if this inspires you to think as an active bystander, that's one of the virtues of the activity. Very good. So often we're passive and not spectators. Yeah, good.
Hi, my name's Nico, and my question was that, something like this is very active and very artistic in a way that's very non-traditional. And I know for many of us, we are in disciplines or in fields that really, at least traditionally, wouldn't incorporate this. So what is your opinion in when, like, for example, I love photography, and I would love to incorporate it in my research and in projects I work on. But I'm sure that, my supervisor, my mentors would look at me and say, well, how is that really going to work if you're really trying to do, qualitative and quantitative data, and it doesn't really mix. But I think it would be, great. What would your advice be when approaching, fields like in psychology and sociology and trying to incorporate artistic, elements like this?
This is the project of cultural agents. How do we talk to our colleagues in social sciences, in the natural sciences, in administration, and share with them what art can contribute to their disciplines? Without art, there's no innovation. Everybody says to think out of the box. How do you do that without thinking like an artist? Managers in business schools learn to think like artists. We have a colleague, his name is Rob Austin, and he co-wrote a book. When he was at the business school at Harvard, he's now a dean of a business school in New Brunswick, Canada. The book is called Managing Like an Artist, or The Art of Management. But basically, he says that the only thing the United States has to sell anymore is innovation. We don't manufacture a lot. We don't offer services abroad. What we do is create new ideas, new things. The only way to keep on top of a business plan that is innovative is to think like an artist, to think out of the box, to think about possible solutions, to work them out in your head as scenarios, to combine elements that weren't combined before, right? So business needs it, law needs it. Law is a discipline that hinges on judgment. And judgment is a faculty that you hone and work and exercise like a muscle through aesthetics. And I'll be very brief about this, but here I would refer you to enlightened philosophy through Immanuel Kant. Kant wrote, his big book on reason was called the Treatise on Pure Reason. That was about natural sciences, okay? The world as it is. How do we understand the physical, natural world? Pure reason, pure science. Then he wrote something about how we fit in the world, right? So this was the Treatise on Practical Reason. It was about religion, sociology, desire, about human relationship to the real world. Then he stopped writing about reason, because reason has a way of going off on a single track. When you write, and you don't have to ask questions. He then wrote his third treatise, which some philosophers don't read because they think it's not in their field. He wrote his third treatise on aesthetic judgment, because it's only through looking at things that are beautiful hearing things that are beautiful, experiencing beauty, he says, that you get excited, that you get revved up, but you don't have any interest in it. Interest meaning economic or political buy-in, right? If you see a beautiful sunset, is that going to make you rich? Is that going to make you famous? Is that going to make you moral? You got nothing riding on it, but it excites you. And you can talk about beauty in an excited but disinterested way. And it's that feeling of excitement and disinterest that allows you to judge dispassionately and allows you to be a citizen. So he wrote about aesthetics, about art, about creativity, about the things that we were playing with today as a necessary addition to the practical work that we do. Otherwise we go off on sometimes very destructive tangents. His most famous disciple is probably Friedrich Schiller. Schiller was a poet, was a playwright, and a philosopher of aesthetics. And Schiller wrote his letter on the aesthetic education of man during the French Revolution. He sat down to write it the night that he heard that the king was beheaded. He said, oh, they've gone too far. There's just going to be a bloodbath in France, and it's going to take them forever to get back to any kind of reasonable life, even though they're driven by reason. So Schiller says, the French made this mistake of thinking that the human condition was basically reasonable. He says, yeah, it's reasonable, but we're made of flesh and blood. We have passions, we have desires, we have sensuality. So everyone is more or less a civil war in their own body, right? We've all felt it. Good angel, bad angel, right? We're over a civil war in our body. He says, how do we survive that civil war? How do we survive this conflict between reason and passion? He says, I'll tell you, because I'm an artist. He says, we survive because there's the third drive. Beyond reason and beyond passion, there's the drive to make art, to make things up, to turn a conflict into something pleasing. You all did that. You saw it. You turned a conflict into something that gave us pleasure, that made us laugh, that made us say, that was really clever. Look how cool X is, right? We have an innate, hardwired drive to make pleasure, to make art. And without that, we're not fully human. Without that, we can't be innovative. So my long answer to your question is an entire field of the humanities that needs to be reincorporated in order to make the photography affect people. So it's not just a document, but it's an invitation to engage. And anything that we do well is called art. I don't know if some of you still read John Dewey. John Dewey, you know, is Schiller's American disciple. John Dewey was a pragmatist, but he was also an educational reformer. And he basically said that to be pragmatic, you need good education. And to have good education, you need to make everybody into an artist, just the way Schiller said. Because otherwise we're not communicating. Thank you. I was thanking Nico for the question, and I don't want to cut people off here. I'm happy to let you go and enjoy the evening. But if anybody wants to make a comment, I still want to listen. And if we have a small group that continues to talk while everybody else wants to move on, that's fine too. But Amy, you wanted to say something?
I'm sorry, I forgot it.
You forgot it?
Yes, I did. I'm sorry. I was paying attention. I forgot. Sorry.
All right. Yes.
I just have a quick question.
Please.
I'm very interested in how we can integrate art into schools a little bit better. Because to me, especially growing up in my community, when they do budget cuts and things like that, the first thing that goes is always the arts program. To me, that's one of the greatest tragedies in our society, in our communities, when they cut these arts programs. Because we're cutting off the kids and we're cutting off their ability to express themselves. If they can't express themselves, their ideas can't flourish. And that goes for science, math, whatever else. My question to you is, what can we do to, I guess, integrate art, whether it's at a public school or charter school, whatever, what can we do to get more involved? And, kind of, maybe connect with you to see if you can maybe give us some ideas on how we can, achieve this.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you. That's just the kind of question that I like, because what I'm dedicated to right now is developing pretext, scaling it up, because I know that works. You can go into any community and find artists to work with. Around the United States and in Latin America, you can talk to people, especially, Latinos, and say, okay, do you consider yourself an intellectual? And some people will say, not really. And then you say, do you consider yourself creative? Who's not going to consider themselves creative? And on creativity, we can run the highest level of literacy you can imagine. When you get kids to make things and then talk about what they did, they're theorizing. They're flying. They know why they combine this and that and use that color, and why that's an interpretation of what they're reading. So what we do is train teachers. I learned a lot from Jewell. All right, now I'm a teacher. I'm not in theater. I'm not an actor. I'm not a director. I'm not anything artistic. But I'm a teacher, so you can't be flat, right? So what we do, thanks to Jewell's model, is we go to a school hired by a Board of Education, by a creative principal, anybody who needs to provide professional development for their teachers, right? And every school needs that. We go and we train teachers to collaborate with artists or to bring out the artists in themselves and teach kids in a different way so that they don't get bored. And that they're in control, they're running the machine that's teaching them. We know from as far back as Maria Montessori, 120 years ago, that project-based, arts-based teaching of really disadvantaged kids, poor kids who had, mental problems, they were special ed kids, did better on the standard tests in Italy when she taught them than privileged kids. We know it works, and somehow it's not being used, right? So we teach teachers to use arts, and then we accompany them by phone, by visits, by Skype, whatever way, over a semester, and they learn a new paradigm. They loosen up. How many teachers do you know have one right answer for one question? Right? You ask a question, the kid, the active kid gets it right, and you say, great, and you go on to the next question. Where is the pause to let anybody think, to let anybody be out of a box? That habit of one answer per question is killing us. You ask an artist how many answers there are for a question, he says, let me multiply, Ask me now, ask me in 5 minutes, ask me tomorrow, I got 10 different answers. There's always more than 2 answers to a question and always more than that, right? So if we're not teaching our kids to think like artists, we're failing them. And we can collaborate, this is really an invitation, to get boards of education, to get principals, to adopt this kind of teacher training. Because we don't want to tell teachers that they're being an obstacle. Teachers have been hearing that, right? All of the enrichment programs that for kids, poor kids, because the teachers, they're not, kind of offering what the kids need, so we have to do enrichment programs for kids. Teachers are getting bored. I started off my career as a high school teacher. I lasted 2 years because I would hear the conversations in the lunchroom, and everybody was brain dead. They were bored. We can make teachers' lives a lot more interesting because teachers are now really constrained by teaching for the test, right? So I have great sympathy for teachers. They don't want to be doing this. We can make them much more effective and have a lot more fun and really bring children's level way up there. So I'll look forward to a note from you.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, I don't know if anyone else wants to make a comment about Jewell or if we're at the end of our time.
We're at the end, but we'll allow people to
Yeah,
speak.
I'll be here for a few more minutes and look forward to talking to you too. Again, thank you so much.